Hi guys! Welcome to another episode of Kiyomi TV! Yay! We actually got a couple of requests regarding the raw food diet that my 3 cats and my dog are on. So a little backstory, around 2 or so years ago, I actually got hired at a holistic pet boutique where I was first introduced to raw feeding. Before this, I was feeding kibble with cans once a day. To me, it seemed fine. I mean, the litter box was like really stinky, even though we scooped every day, and they shed like all over the place. But I thought it was just the normal part of owning a cat. I didn't think anything of it really, and then I started working there. I did more research. I discovered the raw diet because that's their main focus at the store. But I wasn't entirely convinced, so I figured, you know, my cats are doing fine on the kibble and cans, so there's no reason to switch. So fast forward a couple months after I started working there, one of my cats, Chacha, the little guy who was trying to steal the chicken over there, he actually ended up being taken to the vet on an emergency, and it turned out that he had feline lower urinary tract disease. Because Chacha had struvite crystals, which comes from basic urine, which is when the pH of their urine is so basic from eating mostly vegetable-based proteins and other things like that, he was unable to pass these crystals that were naturally occurring. FLUTD is actually something that cats have basically for the rest of their life, but it can be controlled and managed so that they don't have these cystitis flare-ups anymore. Another thing that helps cats with FLUTD is actually the moisture content, which is why they suggest that you put them on a vet wet food. Because meat is almost entirely made up of water, it's about 70 to 80% water, so the cats stay more hydrated. Domestic cats, their ancestors are actually desert animals, and so they have a very, very low thirst drive. They're meant to get most of their water from their food. So unfortunately, when they're being fed a dry food, they have to try to find ways to get their moisture elsewhere. And this becomes a problem because of the thirst drive, like I said. And so they actually become chronically dehydrated. One of the most common problems that cats have is urinary problems and kidney problems, and it's because of the fact that they're not well hydrated. So I did my own research after they recommended the wet vet food. So I discovered that a species appropriate diet is the best way actually to prevent further flare-ups from happening. That's when I decided to actually make my switch into the raw diet. It's been almost 2 years, and ever since I switched them over to the raw diet, Chacha over here has not had a single flare-up. I've never had to take him to the hospital other than for checkups and a couple of physical accidents since then. His urinary tract is perfect and fine, and I discovered that there were a whole bunch of other benefits too. Their litter box, which was like super stinky before, rarely smells now. I still scoop every day, but I could go a whole week without scooping and I would not get that ammonia smell that you usually get from cat litter. They still shed, but they were shedding a lot less, and their fur became a lot more soft and shiny and luscious. I also noticed that my cats in general just had way more energy. Since I've made the switch, I've basically decided I'm never going to go back to feeding kibble or cans. So that's my personal story and why I decided to switch them all to raw. Yay!